significantly a situation setting up here, because we had this ramp up here in stock buying. At the same time as the ramp up in stock buying, I can see a divergence coming in from the sell trade here. So that's good news, right? Hold on a second. I'll just take a screenshot, by the way, of what happened on that spread trade, because we obviously went into the spread trade so that we could show you the long spread. I don't know if anybody decided to take it, but I want to show you what happened to it. So this is the spread here. So you can see we made a double alpha profit. We've made $1,000 profit on the short side, and we've made $2,300 profit on the long side. You couldn't make that one up, could you? You couldn't make that one up, guys. And I was saying, what? Seriously? All right, seriously. Obviously, we'd exited out the prior position. So when the squeeze came in for that trade, I was all over that bad boy. It was a good one, an absolute stoter, as they say, a stoter. So this is the spread on a 1 minute chart here. So this is the one I took here. So this is this spread here. So this is a way down on a 1 minute chart. Do you see it? You see the spread? There it is right there, guys. When the cash open, we started to buy duration. We started to buy lots and lots of duration down here on the cash open. You can see that we got down into this -2 R squared. And at the same time, you can see that we were getting this buy signal in terms of price action. So when we see this, we can see this opportunity to buy into the duration in equities. And obviously the duration in equities that we bought into has just generated this profit on 9 spreads. 9 spreads, $2,300. $3,300, my mistake. $3,300, guys, on that spread. On 9 spreads. That's not a bad profit for 9 spreads, is it? Not a bad profit for 9 spreads. Well, in Glaswegian slang, I suppose, Jack, a stoter is something good, but it's also used for drunks as well. You know what a stoter he is. You know, as he stoats his head off a wall or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's both things. So a stoter is also good, a good trade, but it's also a drunk person who's just whacked their head off a wall and everybody's killing themselves laughing. You know. Usually it's somebody you know, of course, so it makes it even funnier. So this is what I would see as a stock buy program. So this is what I would see as a stock buy program, which means it's a sell on the equity index. It's a sell on the equity index. Why? Well, they're trying to drive business into equities. They're trying to drive business higher at this stage. It's not a futures buy program, so it's a stock buy program. So that's a sell in the index, guys. That's a sell in the index. Does anybody see the buy in the index? Look at this one here. So if that's a stock buy program, what would you imagine is this here? This must be a stock sell program, right? Would you agree with that? If that's a buy program, this must be a sell program. So this obviously gives us some really nice locations to buy and sell index, the index itself. So if I just mark off that high price there and I mark off this low price, everything to the right-hand side here is an opportunity to sell equities and buy equities. The same thing happens here for a possible sell trade again here. It's not the most obvious. It'd have been better if we'd seen a little bit more on that, but you know, probably here would have been a better one. But you get the basic idea. Anything to the right of this is going to be a sell opportunity. So let's take a look at those as possible trades on the S&P. This is a 5-second chart. Could you have made money on those trades? Remember, everything to the right-hand side is possibly going to be an index sell. So if I think that everything to the right could be an index sell, does that make an interesting sell trade here, yes or no? Does everybody think that to the right there could be an interesting buy trade here? Well, obviously it doesn't come into a buy trade very quickly, so you'd have to keep analysing that one. But does everybody see that there was an interesting buy program opportunity to buy into that phase? Absolutely. Does everybody see that into this top edge here that there's an interesting sell program setting up here? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So there's your interesting sell. Drops, there's an interesting buy area. Rallies, there's an interesting sell. Drops. So we can start to recognize that this is actually quite an interesting trigger, isn't it? These triggers, it's quite an interesting trigger. As we catch up, can everybody see the possible sell program? So when we see that sell program, what is that going to be? Well, that's going to be an index buy, isn't it? There's got to be an index buy somewhere in there. So we can start to look for that index buy. And obviously I want to I want to catch up to the right-hand edge so that we're in front of what's going on. You can see what's happening here. There's an index sell program setting up here, isn't there? So we can already recognize that there is an index sell program developing up into this area. And obviously what we're waiting on is to start seeing it. So there's the signal coming in. If we look at that trade, you can see to the right-hand side of this, there's an index sell coming in. And look at what just happened, guys. Straight away, almost immediately, off the top edge, a little sell came in there and it started to work its way down off of that high price with the index sell program coming in at that point. So it's a stock buy program which pushes the markets higher. And this is why we watch it on this program. It should be offset by selling on the Prem. The Prem's turned back around again, so that's not an index sell at this stage, right? So obviously if the Prem starts diverging off of this one, see what happened here? The Prem turned around this time. So there was a buy in the stock index, but now we saw the Prem started to go bullish here, so that's why the price went up. That's why the price went up. So we're waiting for the next one. So you can see the next one. You can see that this looks like a possible stock buy program, but obviously you can see that this hasn't dropped yet, so it drops here. So we're now looking for that stock buy program, and the whole thing starts all over again. The whole thing starts all over again from that stock buy program. So we can see there's a stock buy program up here. You can see it's not achieving anything. It's not achieving anything, so you're obviously hoping to see higher prices, and this time you get a very reasonable sell response on this one. So this one scratches, this one sells off. Some pretty easy scalp money. Pretty easy scalp money. Do you see it setting up though, guys? Is that visible? Is that visible? I think it is.